Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a bins haul. This is a really cool bins haul. There's not a lot of bread and butter in here. There's some, but not a ton. This was one of those weeks where I found really cool vintage pieces, some high-end designer. I can't wait to share what I found with you because there are some really funky pieces in here. These are my favorite kinds of days. But happy Monday. How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Did you go out thrifting? Did you go yard sailing? Did you go to a flea market? Let me know. Did you find any treasures? Let me know in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. But if you are new here, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That's my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you are into, go ahead and hit subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, I've got a lot to show you. Cannot wait to dig in. So go grab yourself a snack, go grab yourself a drink. You know I have my matcha latte. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So let's start today with a pretty cool little vintage piece. Now I've talked about this a lot on the channel before. If you are new here, you've never heard it before, but I've been picking up a lot of Victoria's Secret silk pieces. They've been selling really well for me in basically any age, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a vintage piece or a new piece. They're all selling really, really well for me. But when it comes to Victoria's Secret right now, what people are looking for is the gold label. That is the Victoria's Secret gold label that I've been talking about. I haven't found one since I started the channel, so now you know what it looks like. This is just a little satin nightshirt in great shape. It's got the little VS embroidery right here. This will go pretty quick, probably 30 to 40 bucks. The silk gold label stuff is definitely what people are most looking for, but this is just a little emerald green satin sleep shirt. What size is this? Size medium large, and this will go really, really quick. Like I said, people search for that gold label, and if you do find a piece of Victoria's Secret with that gold label, you want to put as a keyword Victoria's Secret gold label, all those words together, because people actually put that into the search bar. Next up, this is kind of a bread and butter from a not bread and butter company. This is Standard James Purse. People really seek out this stuff. These are incredibly high-end basics. This is a men's t-shirt, little v-neck, size 2 I believe is a size medium. Just a great little shape, little kind of washed red t-shirt. I'll probably get somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks for this. Believe it or not, James Purse, Standard James Purse t-shirts retail over $100. And you can feel why. The cotton is just incredible. I would love to just have a day in the James Purse textile warehouse. Just let me feel everything, you know? Is that weird? I'm weird. Next up, now this is a brand to be on the lookout for. Now I saw this tag. You see it says respun. So the colors here looked really familiar. The text, the typeface of the text looked really familiar. And I can kind of not read the other smaller lettering on here, but once I got home and was able to get up close, sure enough, this is a Marine Layer. Marine Layer is known for basics kind of like this. This is probably as robust as one of their items gets. They do a lot of t-shirts, they do sundresses, they do hoodies, they do sweatshirts, and they're known for having really, really soft textiles. And they resell for a good amount. This was probably about $150 new. I'll probably see around $40 for this on the resale market. This is an extra small, but I just think it's really cute. I like the piping. I like that it's got the little split hem. It's got zipped pockets. It feels very Marine Layer, and it is very soft. I actually think that this is softer than the Patagonia version of this same exact teddy bear pullover. So very cool find. So this is called Respun by Marine Layer. So you want to keep your eyes out for Respun by Marine Layer and Marine Layer. Now next up is this great little piece. Now this doesn't sell for what it used to. This is by Jack Spade, who's actually the late great Kate Spade's little brother. And he kind of launched right around the time that she was coming out with that box bag that everybody had back in the late 90s, early 2000. And I think he mostly got famous for the messenger bags that he did, but his basics are fabulous. And they are really sought after. I have found a bunch of pieces by Jack Spade over the years, and while they're not selling, they used to sell for $50, $60, I'll probably get somewhere between 20 and 30. Also, I love when sweaters have these little like elbow patches, details. But I'll probably see 20 to 30, but I will imagine that I will see this really, really quickly. This is like a lightweight cotton sweater. Yeah, it's a cotton cashmere blend actually. So this will sell pretty quick. With the cashmere, it might go a little bit higher, but everything I've ever had by Spade has gone like within a week. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, but just be mindful of cost. Like if you are not able to source for a really low amount, chances are it's not something I would say go and spend like $15 on, but you know, $5 and under, grab it. Next up, a great pair of Lululemon. These are crops, which are probably the slowest selling of all their pants, but they are newer and they're a size 10. They also have this cool kind of like scalloped back there. I believe that's like right over the calf. So I will be able to find the model number, but again, a size 10 Lululemon, and these are the full-on Luxtreme. Again, if you are unfamiliar with the fabrics, anything with luxe in it is going to be a slick surface, so it's going to be good for like run tights. You're going to want to use that in your keywords. But also if you are shopping for yourself and you have pets, you want something with luxe in it so you're not picking up every hair around your house. I'll probably see $30, $35 on those being crops. Next up, I saw this and I jumped on it, and there was somebody else reaching for it, and it's mine now. Is this a leather mini skirt? Sure is. Straight out of the 80s. Brand on it is Winlet, and it's a size 11-12, which, oh, look at this. This is probably a size 10. This is actually probably a size 10. It is in like perfect condition. No marks, no tears, no nothing. Little kick slit in the back there. With red being kind of a hot color right now, and with Mob Wife and that kind of vibe happening, this will go in no time. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm able to get somewhere between $30 and $50 on this. I have to do some more comping, because when I was in the store, I didn't even comp because it's just a red leather mini skirt. So I was gonna get it. So I didn't really comp it, but I think that this will go really quick, especially with the size. It's not a super small size, which I love to find, but how cool is that? Next up, I saw this and I recognized it immediately. I remember seeing this on the website. This is like just a little Lululemon wrap. So there's no sleeves. It's just made, this is like purely a yoga wrap, but this is in fantastic condition. It's one size and it's a blend of viscose and silk, and it has like a really beautiful drape to it. There are some, sorry guys, we've had helicopters like circling around the area all day, so you're probably gonna hear a little bit of that in the background. This is something that I've seen sold comps anywhere between like $30 and $50. So we'll see how this goes. There are a bunch of them listed. There's a lot sold. So while I think it's kind of saturated, I do think that there's a lot actually selling. So I love finding yoga wraps from Lululemon. I don't find them all that often. So that was a great find. And I think I'll probably see $35 or $40 on that. Next up, another one that I was able to snag while somebody else was reaching for it. This is a pair of brown, like leather and suede pants from Vince. Now, I'm pretty sure that this is vegan leather and vegan suede, but I gotta tell you, I was very convinced that this was real leather. Like it feels like real leather. It feels a little too like supple and pliable to be real leather, but like could have fooled me. They are small. There's no size tag in here. I'm assuming that this was taken out. They are skinny length, but these probably retailed for like $400 or $500. And I'm gonna say that they're probably a size 2 or 4. Probably see around $40 for this. They are really beautiful. Like Vince is just one of those brands that is kind of like an always pickup. This is kind of a style, like a slim fit, like leather pant is just always gonna be in style. Next up, I love to find these little guys. This is just a great vintage, probably 1970s vintage little slip. These are the kind of things, I'll sell this for like $15 or so. It's in great shape. It's got little lace on the bottom. It's roughly a size, let's see, that's probably about a size 8 or 10. So again, just a cute little 1970s vintage. I generally prefer when I find these. I love to find 50s. I love to find pre-50s. It's rare to find them in good shape, but they are out there and I will always snag them when I do find them. And even something like this, like I would never ever recommend, unless you really know what you're looking for, to grab these in like a full price thrift store. You know, if that is something you want to get into, do a lot of research into what different, you know, eras look like in terms of their slips. Because the money's there, but like don't go in blind. I don't want you to go and spend like $9.99 on a 1970s slip, because you're not going to get your money back. But if you spend $9.99 and you're finding like a 1930s or a 1940s slip, you'll get 50, 60 bucks. So just my recommendation, if that's something you want to dip your toes in, do a little research before you get into it, before you start spending. Next up, I had to grab this. This is a rad little beaded kind of cardigan. This is very 1980s. And I can see, like, it's all beaded, all sequined, and in fabulous condition. Like, not a bead out of place, not a sequin out of place, no rips, no tears. Like, I think I've found like one missing bead in the whole thing. But it's very cool, and I could see somebody throwing this on with like a pair of jeans and like with like a tube top underneath. This is something I will probably move on Depop, and it'll probably go $30, $35. It's really cool, and again, very well made. This was probably something that was very spendy back in the day. This was like probably part of a two-piece set. They probably had this with like a sheath dress that went underneath, if I have to guess. This is roughly a size, yeah, about a size 10. But like, look at that beading on the back. Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, it's hard to resist a fully beaded piece for $1. I know a lot of people will leave that behind, but that is so like right in my wheelhouse. Next up, here's a little bread and butter piece. This is a little Free People piece. So just a cute little like cream kind of oatmeal sweatshirt. It's got high side slits. So like the sides are kind of wide open. This is a size small, raw edge. I'll probably see 25 on this. These are the kind of things that tend to be bundled. I see these kind of pieces from Free People bundled a lot. I would not recommend, this is the exact kind of piece from Free People that I would not recommend paying up for. It is something where there's like a little bit of saturation in the market. It's something that, again, I'm not gonna see probably more than $25 for it. I might see a little bit less. So if you are sourcing and you're not able to source for $1, $2, $3, maybe keep it to the more special pieces. If you're really concerned about cost and sell-through, do some comping while you are there. Don't make Free People just seeing that tag an automatic buy again, unless you're really at that $1, $2 price point. So this piece, when I found it, I did not know the label at all, but everything about this, I mean, I didn't comp this, I didn't even look this up until I came home, but like, look at this. Everything about this piece just screamed special to me. Like, this is art. This is like wearable art. This is linen. This is all like a linen twill. This is embellished cotton. Look at the embellishment on that. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this is silk. And if I have to guess, I'm pretty sure that this is like untreated silk. I think this is like the natural color of silk. So when I got home, I looked up this brand, and turns out it's a Japanese brand, which really tracks with the style. This is very much like an elevated log and look kind of piece. And it's, you know, it's sold at small boutiques. This was probably about $400 or $500 new. It's just so special. And I think that this is handmade. Like, if I have to guess, this was all hand pieced together. The back is that linen. It's got like a little slit there. Doesn't really have a size on it, but it looks about to be a size large. There's not many comps out there, but just based on like how special this piece is, I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna see probably $50 or $60 on this. And I'll be really happy to be able to get a piece like this into somebody's hands, just because, like, find another. Like, you're not, this is not something that you are gonna see every day. It's really special. It's really beautiful. It's got all the best fabrics in the world, and it's beautifully designed. Like, it's just such an interesting piece. This is like my favorite kind of thing to find. If I'm not finding like very cool vintage pieces, give me these all day. I'll jump on them. Next up, here's a little bread and butter piece from Torrid. I have slowed down picking up Torrid, but this is the exact kind of piece that I will pick up. This is like a little bit of a boho dress. This feels very current. It's in a pretty like black based floral print. It's got pockets. It's got these kind of like wide, you know, this can be worn off shoulder or up on the shoulders. This is elastic for a nice custom fit. Elastic around the arms, little kind of short peasant sleeves. This is a size 2, so a 2X. I'll probably see about 35 for this. Like I said, this feels like a very current design. Oh, it's got a little drawstring waist too, which I like. And the waist is elastic based, so very cool. It's midi length. Like I said, I think I'll see about $35 on this. And I wouldn't be surprised if this sold pretty quickly, because right now is the time that that kind of stuff is moving. Next up here is this great little piece from Sunry. Sunry is definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. I want to say that they're sold at Anthropologie. I think they're sold at Evereve as well. I don't know if there's an Evereve around you. But again, really great basics, really kind of nice, like kind of California casual type stuff. This is just a great little like slimline turtleneck. It's a color that's like very in right now. It's lightweight. It's like a cotton modal, so it's really soft and again, very breathable. I'll probably see like 25 to 35 on this. If you find a dress, you'll probably see like north of 40. They're pretty expensive and pretty highly sought after, so definitely a brand to kind of keep on your list of things that you're keeping your eyes out for. Next up, now this was a wild find. Are you ready? I've never found a Bob Mackie piece. Now, this is not the typical Bob Mackie label that I've seen. Typically, it just says, you know, Bob Mackie. It says the full name. I would for sure buy anything with the Bob Mackie label. You will also see Bob Mackie has sold on, I think, QVC or Home Shopping Network, one of the two, for I think close to 30 years. So like you will see vintage versions of this label as well. And anything in that world is going to be like, it's called Wearable Art by Bob Mackie or Artwear. I believe the Artwear is the early home shopping line. I think it was Artwear first and then Wearable Art. This label I have never seen before with just Mackie by Bob Mackie. And I have found nothing online. This is silk. It is beautifully made. It's got like a little stain down here that I'm going to work on, but like the lining is silk. This is silk. It's very color block. Size 4, made in the USA. So I'm interested. I'm interested to see what this is about. This is definitely at least worth picking up and giving a try. I want to say that this is probably either a diffusion line off of his main line that wasn't quite as low as Wearable Art, or this was like an exclusive for a specific department store. So maybe for Saks Fifth Avenue only, he made Mackie by Bob Mackie. Either way, what treasures he has given to the world. If you are not familiar with Bob Mackie's designs and you are into clothes at all, just go and spend 20 minutes at look at just the stuff he's done for Cher. Just the stuff he's done for Cher. You don't even need to go beyond that because treasure. Plus he's a delightful human being. So always excited to find that in the bins. That is the first Bob Mackie I have ever found in the bins, in the thrift, ever. I have seen a lot of it out in like secondhand, like vintage stores, you know, for obviously market price. And it's one of the bucket list finds. Now my bucket list has been honed. What I want to find is a Bob Mackie beaded piece. Putting it out into the universe, I will find it. And when I do, I will share it with you. It's gonna happen. So next up, now this was such a cool find and definitely something to talk about because it's something that you might not be aware of. This is very much a niche thing. So if you were not aware that there were denim heads in the same way that there are like sneaker heads, get this on your radar. So this is a brand of jeans called Naked and Famous. When I picked these up, I was pretty sure I knew what I was feeling. It's a pretty distinct feel. So in the world of denim heads, the gold standard is Japanese raw denim. And what people do with these raw denim, or you might also hear this called selvage denim, and I'll show you I'll show you a very easy way to tell like whether denim is selvage or not. Typically what people will do is they'll buy them completely untreated, completely like raw denim, like literally just indigo dye, that's it. And what they'll do is they will wear the jeans for like a year or two, never wash them, and get that perfect like wear, get that perfect like distressing and fading that is perfectly molded to like your body and where you hold your phone, etc. And Naked and Famous is known for making Japanese raw denim. And I believe, if memory serves me right, Naked and Famous gets their denim from Kojima, which is pretty much like the birthplace of denim in Japan. And if you're like interested in this, I'm such a nerd for Japan, like it's my favorite place in the whole world. Workwear type stuff is so popular there. It became really popular after World War II, and it's still very sought after by collectors in the area. So like dollars to donuts if you have a pair of like vintage Levi's orange tab jeans or whatever, like vintage Levi's workwear, or even vintage like Carhartt, 50% chance you're going to be shipping them to Japan because they're really, really sought after there. Anyway, so finding a pair of Naked and Famous jeans was pretty exciting. And when you look at this in terms of a pair of raw denim, this doesn't have a ton of wear just yet. So somebody will be able to buy these and really still customize them to their body. Now let me show you. If you ever want to check, if you have an inkling that you're holding some like raw denim or some selvage denim, look inside the leg, on the outside leg. They're gonna have this. This is what's called a selvage edge. This is like the selvage edge of the cloth. It's a term in textiles, but that's what you're looking at. So it's gonna have that like little stripe. Sometimes it'll be orange, sometimes it'll be red. Most of the times, especially with Japanese raw denim, it's gonna be white. So that's kind of an easy tell. And I would say like if you're seeing that, that's a sign that whatever you're holding is high quality. Now Naked and Famous jeans, I wanna say they go for about $200 to $300 new. I think these are about a size 36, like 32. I'll still probably see 80 bucks on these. It's something that, again, like I don't know if many people would pick up because they're not super familiar with this world. It's something that I'm kind of aware of because I follow that world. But for sure, if you do jeans or if this is something that you're interested in, do a little research into like raw denim. But this is just an exciting find. I mean, for me, for my Japanese nerd mind, this was exciting. But yeah, so check out Naked and Famous. Go a little, do a little deep dive into Japanese raw denim or raw denim in general, and take a look. Like if any of what I said was of interest to you, take a look at what a good pair of selvage jeans looks like after a year of wear. I mean, like, when you think about like Johnny Depp and he's wearing that pair of jeans that look like it's made from guaranteed that selvage denim. Guaranteed. A cool find. I was super, super excited to find that. This might take a little time just because it is kind of an unusual proportion, but it will go, and it will go to somebody who knows what they're buying, which makes me happy. And if you do ever go to Japan and you are a denim person, go and check out Kojima. I hear it's really, really cool. Next up, it's linen season, baby. You know I love it. So there's literally no tag in here. It just says made in Italy. So this is just like a little Italian linen kind of duster cardigan. It's light blue. It's got side pockets. It's got like 3/4 length sleeves with a little roll tab, so you get that little like pick up there on the side. I believe this is one size. This is probably about a size large. Really, really cute. I'll probably see something like this. I'll probably see $35 or $40. It's a little bit more of a substantial piece, and definitely like an interesting piece. It's not like a basic. That's something that's going to be like an outfit maker. Got a little bread and butter piece here. This is a Carhartt women's shirt. This isn't necessarily like when I talk about like Carhartt being an always buy, I'm talking more about like the pants, the jackets. I mean, like you can find a Carhartt jacket, like a insulated jacket. It can have holes in it. It can have stains on it. It doesn't matter. You're still probably going to get 50 bucks or up. If it's a vintage piece, and there are like entire blogs dedicated to like Carhartt vintage tags. So if that is something you are interested in, go down that wormhole. I'm not your authority on that. If you find vintage Carhartt, $100, $200, $300, and again, 50% chance you're going to be sending it to Japan because they love it. But this is a good bread and butter. I'll probably get $20, $25 on this. This is just like a little slub knit, kind of roll sleeve, jersey button down shirt. So this is like something that's made to look like a work shirt but feel like a t-shirt. These are great pieces for people, who work hard, who need something like this to look a little bit more pulled together, but still need to be functional. I know a lot of people, like I've got a lot of friends who work in who have like horse farms back in Utah, and this is the exact kind of stuff that they will wear all day. They'll wear this with like a vest, You know, again, they can meet with people, they can meet with business folks, they look professional, but they're still like full range of motion, which matters in their world. Next up, another cute little Free People piece. This is just like a little striped sweater, kind of cropped length, not super cropped, that's gonna hit like high hip. Just kind of like a light blue and gray marled stripe. This is kind of a more basic piece, size small. I'll probably see about 25 bucks on this. Super cute. Again, a perfect example of a Free People piece that I would not be picking up if it wasn't at the bins for $1, $2, $3. Do not go spending $10, $15 on this. I know some thrift stores out there are like getting crazy with their pricing. When they see a Free People tag, they're gonna charge $19.99. Like, you are gonna get barely above that. So let me know how your thrift stores are in your area. Are they out of their mind on pricing? Like, let me know some of the craziest prices you've seen, because I'm in that, you know, algorithm on TikTok, and man, some of the stuff I'm seeing is absolutely bananas. So let me know. Next up, on the contrast, another adorable little piece from Intimately Free People. This is something that I think I'll get like $30, $35 for. This is just a cute little super soft cropped V-neck Henley? I guess that's a Henley? There's little buttons there. They don't go all the way down. This is not a cardigan. This is really soft. Size medium, cotton viscose blend. This feels really fine. And when I say really fine, I mean like fine quality. Like, this feels really nice. But what I do like is, if you look closely, it's that butter yellow, and then the cuff here, let me get my face out of there. The cuff here is white. So it's nice little details. This is exactly the kind of thing that I would pay up a little bit for, but chances are the thrift store isn't gonna be charging more for something like this. They'll probably charge more for this than this, but you will get more for this on the resale market. Also, Intimately sells better than the main line, for me anyway. Next up, this is a little bread and butter brand that I don't pick up all that often, but when I do find pieces that I think will move well, I grab them. This is from Beach Lunch Lounge. I believe this is a boutique brand, but people do know it and people seek it out. I've sold a lot of their pieces. And this is just like a little linen blend, wide leg crop striped pull-on pant in a size extra large. This is a perfect little summer piece. And again, it's got that linen content, so it'll move. I'll probably see $28 to $32 on this. And being a size XL, being the linen blend, being that kind of classic blue and white striped, I wouldn't be surprised if this moves pretty quickly. Like I said, I'm very selective with what I pick up from Beach Lunch Lounge. I do see a lot of it, but typically I will only really grab it when I see that like more substantial fabric content. You know, all the factors need to be there to justify the purchase. Next up, now this was such a cool find. So I grabbed this, and first, the thing that first jumped out at me is this fabric. Can you see that? It's like a Windowpane cotton. And it's got a little bit of staining, so I'm gonna work on it, but I'm pretty sure that this will be worth it. So I looked at the tag, and it's Eileen West. And you see like Joseph Magnin. I believe Joseph Magnin is the name of a store. Eileen West is a brand that they were kind of in the same world as like Laura Ashley. And they were sold at like Vermont Country Store. This is a wrap dress. Isn't this darling? And it's got those classic sleeves where it's kind of like a little bit bigger up top and it tapers down to the bottom. Not necessarily like a cinch, like a peasant sleeve, but see how it tapers down into this like stitched tuck detail. Do you see that? The quality on this is incredible. And that makes sense because Vermont Country Store is known for like selling lifetime items. It's got the little like the padding in the shoulders is that little ruffle, so it's not like a foam pad. This is, I think I'm gonna see probably in the $60 to $80 range on this. Like I said, there's a little bit of staining that I'm gonna work on, but this is also 100% cotton and it's like white, so I can hit it with a little bit of bleach. But what a find. Like, I'd never heard of Eileen West, so it was an interesting deep dive. And I'm very interested, especially with like how Laura Ashley stuff is going right now, I'm really interested to learn more about brands like this. And it does seem like this is pretty sought after. Very, very cool find. And let me know, have you ever found an Eileen West, or did you have anything Eileen West from back in the day, or did your mom? Let me know. Maybe go and like look through their closet this weekend. Let me know what you find. Next up, great little bread and butter piece. This is Pure Jill. These kind of shirts sell really well for me. This is a size large. It's like a nice oversized boho style t-shirt. It's got this pretty, this is all embroidered with this nice little like whip stitch detail on the collar. This isn't printed, this is actually stitched in. I'll probably see 25 bucks on this, and I would imagine that this will go very quickly. It's in great shape, it feels brand new, doesn't really feel like it's ever been worn, maybe once or twice, but great little find. I do love picking J. Jill, especially at the bins. Again, this is something that like from a different brand, I might get like 35 or more on it. But because it's J. Jill, it'll get a little bit less, but it will sell quick. Next up, okay, so I found this, and I'm just seeing something as I'm pulling it out of the bag. So this is a silk vest from a brand called Tianello, but this is like from the 80s, like an 80s brand. But this is 100% silk. But this is all hand painted, and I'm just seeing, like right now as I'm picking it out, there's a signature on this. It says, I think that's Wilcher, W-I-L-C-H-E-R. So it's this like this hand painted scene with a horse in front of it. And then if you turn around on the back, it's got another little piece right in the middle. This is very much a wearable art to wear, artsy kind of piece. I initially pulled this for a friend of mine, but when I got it home, I didn't think it would fit her. I think it's a little bit small for her. And I'm kind of excited to look into this a little bit more. Like I said, I just saw that signature like right now. So I'll be digging in. This is definitely hand painted. This is not a print. This is absolutely like you can you hear that? I don't know how good that microphone is picking that up, but like you can hear where the actual paint is. I'm gonna just have to handle this very, very delicately. I certainly don't think I'm gonna wash it. I'll give it a steam clean, but very, very cool and in great shape. I think that this will go pretty quick. This is a special piece. I love finding stuff like this. Next up, this great pair of pants from Vince. This is like the second piece from Vince I found. This is like a little pull-on pair of trousers, like a flat front with front seams, but then the back is elastic. It's a size medium. These are in great shape. Just little khaki, kind of like wide leg pants. Great basics. I think that these are very new. This is definitely the new tag, and they feel brand new. They're tencel wool blend, just in case you guys didn't know. So like lyocell is the kind of fabric and tencel is the brand name of it. So like all tencel is lyocell, but not all lyocell is tencel. Got that? Just so you know what you're looking at when you're looking at these fabric tags. But I think I'll see probably 30 to 40 on these. Like I said, I think that these are brand new, and I would not be surprised if these were still like in store right now. Great find. Next up, another crazy high-end pair of pants. These are vintage, these are Y2K vintage. This is Philosophy di Alberta Ferretti. If you are around my age, you probably know Alberta Ferretti because her designs were featured very prominently on Sex and the City. So high-end Italian designer. This is a beautiful pair of pants. It's manufactured by, I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is something that like, if you don't know a brand and you see this label on there, AEFFE, this is a factory that makes a lot of high-end designers. Like I know that they made Moschino, Intarsia knits. They've made a lot of pieces for a lot of these kind of high-end designers. So again, if you're not familiar, like look at the other context clues in the piece. Like if your spidey senses are saying like this is something special, and you see that, just grab it. You never know what you're gonna have there, especially if you're able to source it for pretty inexpensively. This is a size 4, just kind of like a little cigarette leg trouser, cream, in fabulous shape. It's a little bit kind of darker than a cream. This is like almost like a cafe au lait. Not quite a tan, not quite a cream, a little bit more of a brown undertone to it, but what a great little find. I think people like to pick up these kind of high-end designer pieces in the basics because this is something that they'll be able to have forever. It's a very classic piece. It's never gonna be out of style. Next up, another crazy high-end designer. This is a beautiful green turtleneck sweater dress from Max Mara. Unbelievable. This is $700, $800 dress. Beautiful condition. This is like brand new condition. This does not feel like it's ever been worn. It is a sweater dress. It's like a lightweight knit. Fabric tag is cut out of here, but I'm gonna guess that this is either silk cotton or silk cashmere. And neither of those combinations would surprise me. Max Mara is just like known for using like the best possible fibers. They do high-end basics, very chic, very timeless. Definitely if you see anything with that label on it, anything, for the most part, as long as it's not damaged, I would pay full thrift store price on that all day, because you're gonna get your money back on it. I'm gonna guess that I'll probably see somewhere between $50 and $100 for this. This is a great find. It might not sell until like next fall, but I don't care. I don't care. Oh, the size tag is cut out. This is probably a size medium. Just going on that, I'll have to take some measurements, but isn't that fun? Oh, look at that color. Isn't that stunning? Next up, and this is truly something I would never pick up unless it's like right now. This is a cute little crop top from Do and Be. I believe this is a boutique brand, but I do also think that this is sold at Revolve. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's this cute little like one shoulder pink and orange crop top. It's got a smocked backs for a little bit of support and a, you know, kind of a custom fit. This is in like perfect condition. If I have to guess, something like this was worn once. You know, this isn't necessarily like a closet staple that you pull out again and again. This is for like one fabulous brunch and then you move it on to the next person. Again, this is something that I think will sell on style alone. And I'll probably see like $25, $30 on it. I just thought it was so cute and in fantastic shape. Isn't that adorable? Like, could you be more summer? So cute. Next up, now this was something that I found and I grabbed it just because it felt really nice. This is from a brand called Onia. And this is another super high-end brand. This is a men's sweatshirt with this really cool like texture to it. Look at this kind of cool. Something very different. It's a classic sweatshirt style with that really interesting finish. I see a lot of sold comps on this in the $40 range. It looks like they retail just north of $100, so not a cheap brand. They're sold, I think, at Nordstrom. They might also be sold at Saks. But again, definitely a brand to be on the lookout for. I'm interested to see how quick this moves. I don't know how well known it is, but I do see sold comps and they are at a healthy amount. So excited to give this a try. If nothing else, this is like a great closet staple for guys. So it'll move just on that alone, but hopefully the name and the quality will move it a little bit faster. So interested to see how this does, and I'll try to report back when it does move. Next up, Mom, if you're watching, turn it off. Thanks. And I grabbed this for her. This just really reminded me of her. This is from Talbot's. Not necessarily something I would ever really pick up to resell, although I do think that this would go quick. This just kind of reminds me of my mom. It's this pretty like white slub, 3/4 length sleeve top, but look at the sleeves. This pretty like cotton lawn with this gorgeous eyelet. And it's kind of a blousey sleeve, so it's not super tight. This just looks like something I could see her rocking in the middle of summer. So this is for her, not for sale. Just wanted to show that to you. Very cute. If I were to sell that, that would probably go for like $25 on the resale market. But again, not for sale. It's in perfect shape too. Next up, dipping my toes in the vintage designer tie world. This is a Giorgio Armani cravat. So a little bit more of a 90s print, which I think I'm starting to see pop up a little bit in the men's fashion world. So we'll see, you know, maybe $15, $20 on this, maybe a little bit more, but it is in great shape. Again, I'm gonna guess that this is mid-90s. This just feels like mid-90s. Really beautiful materials, beautifully made. Yeah, so we'll see. I'm really not picking up ties unless I'm finding like high-end designers. I think the other ones I have are like YSL, so very cool. Next up, I believe these are more of a swim brand than anything, but they are in fabulous condition and I just really liked the style. So, and they feel really well made. This is a brand called Rhythm, made for adventure. Again, I believe that their kind of bread and butter is like swimwear, but it's just a cute little like tan and white cabana, like almost like a seersucker stripe, paper bag waist shorts. They are a size 10, which is a great size to find. I'll probably see $20 to $25 on these, and these will probably go really quickly. I do think these are basically brand new. They do not feel like they've been worn ever. Very cute. Next up, another crazy little wearable art moment. Look at this pretty linen top. So this is 100% linen. And this is definitely vintage linen. It has a very distinct feel. It's got this beautiful like black stitch detailing on it with this kind of patchwork front. These are pockets. And the cool thing is this is button up, but the buttons are on the underside of the placket so that it's completely hidden. So you can see like that's buttoned up. It's by this brand Chow, Xiau, I think I'm saying that correctly. Size medium. This will go in that, you know, again, wearable art to wear, even log and look. This is a very just unusual piece. This is kind of one of those things that somebody will pick up if they want something that nobody else has in their closet. Again, a size medium, very oversized fit, so it does fit into that kind of log and look world. Very, very cool. I'll probably see $35 on this, maybe a little bit more. I wasn't able to find too much on the brand, but I will continue to dig just because stuff like this tends to be a little bit harder to find. This is not a Free People that sold in like every mall everywhere in the world. Something like this was probably sold in like 3 boutiques worldwide. So can't wait to find out a little bit more about this. If any of you have ever found something by that brand, let me know down below. I'd love to hear your experience with it. Next up, now this is a brand I don't pick up almost ever unless it's a style that I know will move. Like the last thing I picked up by them was a red velvet blazer and it sold nice and quick because it's a red velvet blazer. But this is INC, International Concepts, which I think is a Macy's house brand, but this is just a little like black kimono with white embroidery. And that's why I picked this up. This will go, it's a recognizable brand. Kimonos just move for me. It doesn't matter if there's a brand or not, but kimonos move for me. It's black and white. It's a recognizable brand. This will sell $20, $25, and I would not be surprised if this moves super, super quick. It's just a pretty classic one, you know, for people that are a little afraid of dipping their toe in color. Like there's a lot of people out there that are afraid of dipping their toe in color. This is a perfect little piece. That'll go super quick. Again, not something that I would pick up at full price from a thrift store, but $1, $2, even $3, maybe even up to $5, depending on your profit structure that you're working with. All day. That's a safe bet. Next up, now this is going to be really hard to show you because it is a bodysuit and it is kind of like a monokini, but this is from the brand IMGia. And IMG is a brand to be on the lookout for. They make these kind of unusual clothes that can be worn for like clubbing, to like a rave, just really kind of like sexy, unusual clothing. This is a bodysuit. It is leopard print. It's got like it's got these little cutouts, so it's super sexy. It's a size large. It's like brand new. I'll probably see about $30 on this. The last thing I picked up from IMGia is this cute little like knit dress. I mean, it is short with a very low back, and it sold for like $60 or $70 within 3 weeks. So definitely a brand to be on the lookout for, but if it's a kind of an insignificant piece like this is, don't pay too much for it, but you know, if you see a dress, for sure, look it up because they sell out and people seek them out. Next up, now this is a great little bread and butter piece. This is a perfect example of what I like to pick up from Lucky Brand, but I love this little shirt. It's just like a little boho, like baby blue chambray. I like that it's got these cute little like split sleeves with the stitch detail there. This is in great shape. It's a size small. Now, ideally, I like to find these in like a size large, extra large, but this will sell just on style. People know Lucky Brand for these kind of boho tops. I'll probably see $25 on this, but like, look at that embroidery. Isn't that cute? This just feels like a cocktails by the marina, you know? Like that's exactly what this shirt feels like to me. Next up, now this is a tag I've never seen in the bins. This is a tag I've never seen in the thrift. Hello, friends. That is Christian Dior. This is a silk robe. It's got the tie with it. It is in pretty great shape. There's a couple like pinhole, moth holes on it. This will go like immediately. This will get steamed and photographed and then immediately put into the cedar closet for safekeeping so that none of that, you know, continues, but otherwise in fabulous shape. Now, granted, this is not a Christian Dior dress or anything like that, but this was still probably a $700, $800 silk robe, if not a little bit more. I'll probably see somewhere between $50 and $100 on it, but like definitely one of my bucket list designers to find. How cool is that? Man, this silk is beautiful. Just gorgeous. Next up, this is another little James purse. This is definitely vintage. I want to say this is like Y2K vintage. This is a little James purse top. It's got kind of like a knot at the top. It's like a racer back. This is James purse, like the straight line, not the standard line. Pretty cotton little tank top. Just super simple. I'll probably see like 25 to 30 on this. I think this is a size, yeah, it's size 3, so it's a size large, which is good to see from there. And this feels like a size large. And then you see on the back, it's got a little bit of like gather, so it fits loose on the back as well. Cute little piece. And you think about it, like when this was new, that was probably $200-300. Like James purse stuff is eye-wateringly expensive. All right, we are getting there, guys. We only have a few more pieces left. Next up, now this is a perfect example of a piece that I would take my chances on from Free People. And it's because it's just so different, so special. This is like a pretty, I think this is a tunic. I'm pretty sure that this is older. I want to say maybe 2010s, but it is all crochet. It is in pretty great condition. It's lined in like cheesecloth. This feels like cheesecloth. And when I first saw it, I thought to myself, like, it looked like it was shredded, but it's not. It's got, you know, it's kind of uneven sized crochet. It's kind of high-low hem. It's got this pretty like embroidery and sequin on the front. This is just very unusual. This is probably a piece that there's not many of out in the world. So if it is being sought after, it is being sought after. But very cute. It is a size large. Love to see it. Just a really kind of unique, very like to its DNA Free People piece. I'll probably see around $30-35 on this. I'll have to do a really good once over. There's definitely a little bit of like stuff on it, but it looks like it's stuff that's kind of like sitting on here. So I'll see how this looks after a clean, but you know, depending on demand for this, 35 to like the moon. Again, if it's in saleable shape. Definitely if you are sourcing for a higher dollar amount, take the time in store to really check over condition. For me, it's $1. It's not a huge deal if there's damage on here that like I didn't catch before, but you know, if you're paying $7, $8, $9, like that matters. That really adds up. Next up, this is a brand I found a couple pieces of and they sell really well. They seem to be made really well. This is Eloque. And Eloque, I believe, does, I think, only plus sizes, but I like that there's a creator and I can never remember her name. She always talks about like the pieces that are available to her as a plus size shopper, and it's, you know, either frumpy or, you know, they're just like ridiculous. I like that Eloque makes like fashion for plus sizes because everybody deserves to wear something fabulous. And I think Eloque does this really well. And if you are somebody that is plus size, like definitely check out their stuff because they are made well. And you know, they're a little bit pricey new, but like on the resale market, you'll get a decent deal. I'll probably see like $40 for this. And I want to say it was probably about $100 new, but this is a size 14. It's baby blue. This is kind of like an ankle length dress, like a midi to ankle length dress. It's like a heavyweight jersey. And then the top, which I mean, you can get a full bra under this, thank you. So it's got like a little bit of a cold shoulder and then these cute like double ruffle sleeves, which are super flattering if you notice. So this is gonna go around like right here. So you're gonna have this ruffle, and then this ruffle is like a little bit longer proportionately. It sits so beautifully on the arm, it just really skims. So if you're somebody who has like discomfort around your arms, like I hate showing my arms, so I really get that. So something like this just lays on it really beautifully. Again, I'll probably see about $40 for this. This is in great shape, great find. I do love picking up Eloque. Just 2 more pieces to go. This is a cute little piece. This is actually an older piece from Zara that I just style-wise, I'm pretty sure this is gonna go pretty quick. This is linen blend. This is the TRF. This is an older tag. This is basically what is now the triangle symbol. Like if you ever look at new Zara tags, they either have the triangle, the square, the circle. The triangle is this. So it's gonna fit a little bit smaller. It's like made to fit a little bit smaller versus the circle or Zara Woman, which is gonna be made to fit a little bit bigger, and then Zara Basic's gonna be pretty true to size. But this is so adorable. It's got that square neck. It's the pink and white striped little peplum top. Not something I would pick up in November, but for now, absolutely. It's a size medium, pink and white stripe, perfect condition, and then the back has these cute little buttons. I'll see $25 on this, I think, but I just think this is so adorable. This is something that will sell. And finally, we're gonna cap this off with a fabulous little vintage piece. And I had to look at this so closely to determine that it was in fact vintage, because I almost never find a classic black vintage dress. And here we go. Like Audrey Hepburn, eat your heart out. This is just a perfect little, I believe this is raw silk. Let me get you up on that texture. There you go. So I'm pretty sure that this is raw silk. There's no tags in here. This is either custom made or part of a two-piece set. Just a simple black jewel neck, perfect little short sleeves. Do you see, like, there's no shoulder seam on here. So that's really just gonna fit beautifully on the arm. Classic little sheath, wiggle style silhouette. And the way I was able to tell that it was vintage was really looking at the zipper. The zip, like, I don't know if I can teach you how to tell a vintage zipper from a newer zipper, but I think the easiest way that I can describe is it feels generally on a vintage zipper, it feels a little bit rougher getting it down and up than it does on a modern zipper. I think most zippers now are made of nylon, so they have a softer tooth. So they feel a little bit smoother going up and down, whereas vintage were often made from metal. And you'll still see some metal, but even the metal zippers will be a little bit smoother going up and down. I don't know why in the manufacturing, but it's one of the easiest ways for me to tell a vintage dress from a modern dress. And that's really where I could tell. And I will tell you that this is such a small zipper, it was kind of hard to tell. But as you can see on the inside there, that's a metal zipper. And not like a decorative metal zipper. Like this is a functional, like hidden zipper on the back, but it's definitely vintage. So, and it's in perfect condition. Absolutely no size tags. It does look like there was a belt. There are those little thread-like belt loops here, but I don't think that that's gonna hurt it. Somebody will throw on their own belt. A perfect black vintage dress. I'm gonna say this is probably about a size 4 or a size 6. I'll get measurements on it. I'll see probably $60 on this all day. This is a find, like I never find stuff like this. I'll find stuff like this, but it'll be in like a wild color, which, you know, was kind of the look back then. You didn't see a lot of like black dressing, because I think for the most part in this era, unless you were like a New Yorker or a Parisian and that's what you wore, this was primarily worn for like mourning. Yeah, you just didn't wear black all that often, but isn't that stunning? Isn't that just stunning? I hope you can see the details on here. I know black doesn't show up well on camera, but this is, I mean, like literally perfect condition. I would be surprised if this was ever worn. Handmade for sure. That hem is hand done. Absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to get this listed. Definitely something I will put on the mannequin, because it does the shape of this justice. That is it, guys. That is the haul for this week. What a wild ride. I mean, we had vintage Bob Mackie, we had Christian Dior, we had Giorgio Armani, we had 3 art to wear pieces. It's special when you find 1, let alone 3 in one shopping trip. These are the kind of days that keep me going as a reseller. Sure, I love finding my bread and butter, the stuff that's gonna like be in my closet and out of my closet within, you know, a couple days, but stuff like this is the stuff that really just like warms my heart when it does sell, because I love finding basically somebody else's trash and turning it into somebody else's treasure. Like that, it's what I love most about what I do. But guys, what was your favorite piece from this week? There's lots of interesting things to choose from, so I'm interested to see what really like piqued your interest. But for all the numbers nerds out there, so there were 41 pieces here, so I have $41 invested. And I think I've got somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400 in sales here, which means that my profit's gonna be somewhere $1,000 to $1,100 after fees. So with a $41 investment, that brings my return on investment to just over 24x, which I love to see. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me while I go through my haul. I have so much fun doing this, and I hope you do as well. If you had fun, please consider leaving a like on this video. It really helps me out with YouTube. Of course, don't forget to subscribe. I want you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, have the most incredible week. Happy hunting. I hope you find tons of treasures, and I will see you in the next one.